Well, my hypocrisy
It
was
was
what?
stunning. It was
Yeah,
startling, and it
yeah.
needed to be called out.
We need to hold space for my hypocrisy.
I'm I'm honored by that, and I'm holding space for that.
Thank you. Well, welcome to Hey Julia podcast about Survivor and Big Brother. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Danielle, how are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, and what a Saturday it is. It's crisp, it's cool, the skies are blue. I already have been to a birthday party this morning, so
What
I'm really living the weekend life.
what is the average start time and like run time of a child's birthday party these
The
days?
popular time for my child's age group is 10 a.m. to around 1 p.m.
Okay.
So it's like a lunchtime birthday party, like early morning. I was looking at the logistics of the spread because it's like people have to serve breakfast and lunch when they do that.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
will
have
not be
coffee
doing
there.
that. They do have coffee there.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm going to do. I'm doing a nighttime party for Goldie's birthday party.
Champagne.
We are going to have yeah, we're going to have
Pre-game.
drinks.
Pre-game 9 p.m.
Pretty much.
The kids don't leave the house till we don't go to the club till midnight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, everyone does things their own way. I think it is popular to do morning time because then it's like you do it and it's out of the way. It's something to do in
This
the
is a
morning.
great this is a great way into Survivor. The most important thing everyone wants to speak about this week, which is Saul's going out attire.
Speaking of parenting, daddy.
Yeah. Where was that? Where was that? I
You
mean,
know what?
we knew. We announced your crush on Saul earlier in the season.
Yeah, my crush
But
is over now, though.
like why? Oh, because of the burping.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
Oh.
I saw all these comments thirsting about Saul, and I saw the screenshots before I even watched the episode. You think that is enough for me to reverse course on how I've already thrown in the towel on Saul? It's not. It's not at all. I'll give him his props. Yes, he looked absolutely gorgeous. But like, I'm still disgusted by him. I can hold a grudge. I can actually, this might surprise some people, but I can hold a grudge. And I do not forget disgusting flatulence the way Saul had and the way he let it rip on national TV. That's an embarrassment. So it's going to take a lot more than some oiled up well-defined arms and a vest displaying a manly chest to make me change course. Sorry. Not sorry.
I thought Saul was just like, I'm 43 years old. I'm an insurance salesman or something like that. I thought he was like kind of like a normal, I thought he was like the most average man possible in a
Right.
good way, in a way that made me like him because everyone else
Now you
like,
don't like him. Yeah.
you know, and he walks out and it's like he's stepping onto the WWE ring. He's got his
Yeah.
guns out. He's like strutting down. He's like,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna see this. It was such a moment.
It
I
was.
know you have your personal issues
I do.
with Saul's digestion,
I do.
but this was amazing. Like Saul, yeah, he's a cute guy. He's a nice looking guy. I didn't know Saul was like, oh, actually, I'm hot.
He's
IRL.
catnip. Yeah.
We usually get that with the women when they're voted off because like we've been seeing them like not wearing makeup for 14 days,
Being
21 days.
emaciated, tired.
Yeah, whatever. Everyone is but usually when the guy walks in, it's like, okay, well the guy's just like wearing
No
nothing.
difference. Yeah.
Right? It's just like he looks
He's
the
got a
same.
shower.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe he shaves and he
Yeah.
showered or whatever. And Saul's like, oh, actually, I am like the manager of a car dealership, but I'm like hot and like you're gonna want to like kiss me and like I
know.
was just the you usually don't see that. You see the women when they're voted off in their first jury appearance, like, oh wow, she's beautiful. She cleans up great. Wow, wouldn't mind asking her out. I wouldn't mind buying her a drink
Sure.
at
the bungalow.
at the bar with her at the bungalow with her permission, of course.
Yeah, naturally.
But but with Saul, it was oh my god. I hope he has like a new outfit every week.
I bet he will. Well, the bar has been set really high. Speaking of the bar,
Yeah.
and also, yeah, a lot of women had this reaction. Teeny had the reaction for the audience during the show. Teeny couldn't believe her eyes. She was blown away.
A lot of teeny this week.
A lot of Teeny. Martini, more like Martini. We got a ton of we got too much Martini, too much Teeny.
Teeny. Yeah, Teeny sad at Jen. All that stuff's going on. And if things can't get worse for Teeny, she puts her provided survivor bag a little bit too close to the fire. Do you think there was foul play involved in this, Danielle?
So here's what I wrote about this. I don't know if there was foul play, but I said, because like I was watching and Teeny's bag looked like a Muppet rat from A Christmas Carol when it was on fire. Don't you think? I thought it was like, I thought she was holding a live animal that was on fire when she was holding it up at first. I just thought, like, have you watched A Muppet Christmas Carol recently?
No, I was going to say that you're a lot more well versed in Muppet lore than I am.
We don't watch it with the kid. Yeah, we watch it because it's good.
For you.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You watch it.
Yeah, it's like
you have a list of which Muppets you have crushes on.
That is something I would have.
Maybe it's a good off-season pod. You know when people do those like ranking lists, like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier?
Yeah.
We could rank the Muppets for an off-season.
I feel like this entered my consciousness this week, and this is so not interesting, but I was like, I have a new crush I have to tell Brett about. But I don't remember who it is. Maybe as we talk about other things I watched. No, okay. It was not. It wasn't a Muppet.
It was not a Muppet. Okay.
But we'll probably get there. Okay. We'll get there. I have some other things to say about this episode.
I have two major spoilers. I have two major things to say about this episode. But anyways, you hit me.
Okay, I just wanted to say, so the challenge for the sanctuary this week was absolutely disgusting. Whoever came up with this challenge, yes, with rolling the ball with just your head. Whoever came up with this was a human centipede obsessed freak. Like that's all I could think about as I was watching this. Is some fucking fan of the human centipede who never got over it was like, you know what we can make these people do? Make them look like little worms squirming up the hill. Even Jeff at one point, Jeff goes, Kyle squirming through that sand. Oh, it gave me the shivers. It's so disgusting.
You think there's like a little village where all the Survivor employees live? And like,
yes,
you know, the
like
camera
the
people and the editors and the production people, and they all have their little bungalows and tents and stuff like that. It's a little bit like a dorm. It's a little bit like college life. And there's the one guy in props who's like, anyone want to watch the Human Centipede tonight? I have it on DVD.
There's like several.
I have a combination DVD VHS player in my dorm. If anyone wants to come over.
Several
and everyone's like, no.
Of those movies. Like they kept going. They made one where there's like 100 people part of the Human Centipede. I remember living in New York, passing it's not the Angelica, it's the one on West 4th Street, whatever that cinema was.
Oh, the UFC, the IFC.
The IFC. Seeing that poster and being like, I will never see this movie. I do not need to know about this.
Yeah, like
that being said,
the conceit of that movie was like a hard pass for me. It was just like, why would I ever want to watch this?
Yes, agreed, 100%. That being said, watching this challenge, I was like, I bet I'd be good at this.
Oh, so some questions about this. It was like, you got to use it with your head. Yes. A lot of folks, perhaps the folks who won the challenge, using their shoulder. A shoulder has a much more of a scoop. You can get a lot of scooping action with your shoulder blade. There was a lot of actually competition questioning, a lot of asking to stop the vote or recount the vote or stop the steal with the challenges this week, because then additionally there was also like on the elimination or the immunity challenge where they're holding the plate with the balls on it. There's some shots of Kyle.
Yes.
Is that his name?
It's Kyle.
I keep wanting to call him
Sue's enemy, Kyle.
Something about him is very Andy, but there's also a man named Andy this season who's also one of the main characters, so I'm like a little bit confused. He's sort of holding the plate, but it's sort of resting on his forearm a little bit, and many internet sleuths with so much time on their hands on the internet are like, stop the steal here. He was breaking the rules or whatever. In both factors, I literally don't care. I don't care.
Well, I didn't think that was a big deal either. It seemed like if that was an issue, I feel like Jeff would have called it out in front of everyone, and it clearly
Yeah.
wasn't. Maybe it will be going forward, maybe from seasons going forward, because this caused such a kerfuffle. Yeah, I wouldn't have even noticed if I hadn't seen the chatter in our Discord. That was like his strategy. And then, I mean, for the human centipede one, I was just
Oh my
like, you
God.
have to have really good, you have to have really good back muscles. That's what you needed. And I do. So I feel like I
Oh
could have,
yeah.
it's just like, yeah, it's just like moving your whole, like not being able to use your limbs would not be a challenge for me. But they did have that the man-made hills, which I guess a lot of people are having trouble with. Also, I feel like I don't know, I can move my head really easily to do it.
Do you what exercises do you do for your back?
I do them all. I do them all.
Okay. Oh, you
I
do
do
them all.
yoga. Come on.
Oh, okay.
I
I
think
do
if
them
you're a
all is a
yogi,
very lie answer.
it's not a
It's like,
lie. I
what are
just
your
don't know the
greatest
names of
strengths? All of them.
exercises.
All of
I,
them. Okay.
do you know the name of every exercise you do? I don't know what they're
I don't
called.
know
They're
the
all
name
the
of any
same thing.
exercises because I don't do any.
Every exercise is the same thing. It's
I'm
either
not a liar.
it's either a squat, a push-up, a pull-up, a lunge. Like that's it. Those are the only exercises that exist. Yes, there are variations, but that's pretty much it. You're lifting up something heavy or yourself. That's it.
You good at breaststroke?
Yes, I'm a great swimmer.
Butterfly stroke?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
See, haven't I already said I'd be so good at the swimming competitions? Anyway, so the challenge the human centipede challenge was to win time at the sanctuary, which included a cake,
chicken, fruit, juices. You know what? This reminds me when I wrote this in my note. This was like a children's birthday party. Like a healthy children's birthday party where it's like we don't have cake here because like
no, they had a cake.
Angelica doesn't actually is allergic to gluten. They did have a cake. They had a cookies and cream cake, but something about the dish, the assortment, the lineup of food was very much like I'm at like a healthy 9-year-old's party.
Yeah. It didn't look that appealing. It didn't look that appealing at all. And then the threesome that were there, it was hard for me to understand okay, what's Freckleface's name? The girl.
Rachel.
Okay. Rachel and then the blonde girl, not non-Genevieve, the blonde girl. Caroline and Rachel are the true actual Brady All-Stars. This is what I wanted to say to you.
Spoiler, this was my point. This was my point today is that these two are first mostly Caroline, who has no ability to win this game. She's bad. She's just hanging on.
She's hanging on.
She's just hanging on. Rachel is beginning to get a like winner edit here. Mm-hmm. Like what was the girl who won Survivor 41?
Marianne?
She was Canadian.
Marianne. Oh, no, she was tiny. What was her name?
Yeah. But I'm beginning to get like that kind of vibes from her gameplay and from like her edit right now. And I'm like, okay, here we got something. We had something at the beginning of the season, her trying to steal the rice, sneaky. Then we've had all this drama. Like she has an idol right now. She used her shot in the dark, which I need to get back to, as it was like a little flare out, like, oh, I don't have any power in this game, which I think was a very smart move. We have to come back to shot in the dark. I think she's like doing a pretty good job of like manipulating people and seeming like very weak and like she doesn't really have any power in the game.
I thought so too.
Making moves, but she's not like taking credit for moves, but we're still a little bit too early for that. Like, as I said last week, Genevieve made a very strong move, but man, Genevieve is number one on everyone's hit list right now.
Yeah. My thought about Freckleface, Rachel, was that like, I never remember her name, but I was thinking to myself, this girl's always up where she needs to be. She's always getting into the business that she needs to get into. She's always like making her case known, making her preference known. Like this girl's always doing what she needs to do.
I feel the same way, and I feel even more so, but less about Caroline. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Well, Caroline is a Brady All-Star.
Exactly. She's a true Brady All-Star because she's like complete like non-existent.
Well, you know who else I thought was kind of a Get Ready All-Star?
Who?
R.I.P. Gabe.
No, Gabe. Gabe
When he left, I was like,
is
okay, so
Gabe is like Rome, but like you could handle being in a room with him for an hour. Like
I guess.
Gabe can at least like act a bit like a normal person and like ask you questions about yourself and like be a normal person. Also there's like I think there's like weird I don't want to talk about Gabe too much because like I think there's like weird stuff with him on the internet. Like,
oh, is there?
he was not being hot. You know?
Oh, well, I only like hot people, so let's not discuss that.
Yeah, I think he was being a little bit
not hot
or something like
oh
that, you know?
oh no, we don't.
I think he was like saying some mean things about somebody, and it didn't have a great. You know what it was? He and Tiana, I think, continue to not like each other post game, and I think they have been like trading barbs back and forth.
Okay.
And she said, and you know what it was? She said something about like, because she's from Hawaii, she's like, "You mess with me, you mess with Hawaii."
Sure.
You know, and he's like, "Fuck Hawaii" or something.
Oh my god!
I'm making all this up. He just was like, kind of like.
Like, you don't want to say that. Everyone wants to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, no.
I mean, of all the places, you could say like fuck Boston. Like that.
We're not saying that here. Yeah. We're not.
Yeah, you don't want to say that to a place you definitely want to visit. Like,
yeah. When he lives and he's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You need a vacation.
Yeah.
You need a vacation.
You want to go somewhere tropical. You can't say Baltimore all year round and never go somewhere tropical. And guess what? You really want to go to Hawaii. Trust me.
Gabe, you lost your Hawaii privileges.
Yeah, that sucks.
I know.
That sucks.
So yeah. I mean, I could have seen. I mean, you know, the writing's on the wall for any sort of Survivor contestant when they're saying in their confessionals like, I'm in a better spot than I've ever been. I'm in the best spot I've ever been. I'm like, oh, it's not good. I wrote at the beginning of the episode. I wrote R.I.P. Gabe just because it was like.
Well, they're doing that. They did that with him, but they're also doing that with Andy a lot. Like we talked about this last week. Like Andy is being so set up to have like a complete eating shit moment.
Yeah, and especially when I said this last week when he said that Genevieve wasn't very smart. You don't say that. About beautiful.
This is gonna come back. Later in the episode.
Say the magic word.
Yes, that's gonna come back, but not about Survivor. Okay. But while we're talking about Andy, so Andy and Sue in this episode, like we saw that Andy was like, Sue is the perfect person I want to be in an alliance with because she's so emotional. And then we got like, you know, a great montage of Sue talking shit. I'm like, and I was also like, this is so interesting because this shows like Survivor US really protects their cast for the most part. And that's the beauty of an edited show, right? Like Sue has talked, they gave us a little taste. I believe that was a sprinkle of how much shit Sue has probably been talking. And it was all game related for the most part. It was like a lot of, you know, it was some bitching because you're like on an island and you're starving. But Andy being like this, I didn't love Andy being like, Sue's like the perfect. This felt like what's that word for when writers of like a fictional thing cave to what the audience wants. They just give it because like the audience is like, we need, bad example, but like we need Jim and Pam to get together. And they're like, oh, we're going to write Jim and Pam to get together so hard. And it's just like catering or pandering to the audience. That's what this alliance feels like to me from Andy. And that's why I actually don't support it and don't like it. Because it's like Andy is, you know, kind of a cracked king. And Sue is clearly Sue, she's 42 years old and she's a flight school owner. Beautiful. And we love that and support that. But like the pairing of them over 40. The pairing of them together, I just felt was honestly like Andy producing his own storyline. I didn't like it.
It's very honestly, to your point, it's very like everything the Star Wars universe does, where it's like, oh, Blorpo and Bongo Ding are fighting together with Baby Yoda, and it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, this is everything the fans have wanted.
Yeah, we wanted Blorpo.
Or it's like, but that happens in Star Wars all the time, and then everyone's like, do we actually want this?
No, you don't want to do. You shouldn't give the fans what they want. You know why? Because they're stupid. Because they're
No,
like
they don't. Yeah,
they don't know what they want.
yeah.
You need to tell them what they want.
If they were good at writing Star Wars movies, they wouldn't work at the Jiffy Lube.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly.
Yeah.
Sorry to Jiffy Lube.
Sorry, I've never been
one of my favorite parts of that sequence though was Andy's like, Sue, Gabe thinks you and Caroline are idiots. He calls you Tweedledee and
Tweedledum, yeah.
And she did not understand the reference. Young Sue doesn't know Alice in Wonderland.
No, she's too young.
So she's like, they're calling me Tweedledee and Tweedledum. What the fuck?
Beautiful moment that you couldn't have written.
So good. Yeah.
The only you said we'd get to this. The only other thing so this was the episode where they like barter with Jeff over rice.
I need to talk about this.
Okay. They're going back and forth. Oh, what if two of us give up our votes or something? What if one of us, I don't know, they were giving multiple scenarios. And finally, what they landed on was that they would all give up their shot in the dark. You know what this tells me? This was not like a big wow moment. What this tells me is that this feature of the show sucks. No one likes it. It's pointless. And that's hopefully the lesson they learned.
Season 47 hopefully killed Shot in the Dark.
Yeah, because
Shot in the Dark should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
What just happened was so embarrassing to the production of Survivor that they should be like, I can't hang out with this group of people anymore. I shat my pants so hard at the quinceañera that I am no longer invited at this family's birthday parties or to hang out with them ever again. Everyone was like, yeah, what? This is a completely useless twist.
Yeah.
It's only happened. Someone's only successfully used it once.
It's like we all forget it's there until they mention it. And then when they mention it, we don't, it's not like we're excited, like, ooh, maybe they'll use it. We're like, what the hell is this? Why? And then it adds like all this unnecessary complication. We don't care about it.
Also,
even the players don't care about it.
It's not filmically interesting as well. It's supposed to be a dice roll. Have a dice. Get Frenchie out there with the big dice. Yeah. Get a big dice. It's like, oh, well, it looks like your shot in the dark is a die, but you just put it in a box and then you take a scroll from a different box and then he opens it. No, I'm using my shot in the dark. Jeff, bring out the dice. And then there's a big die. And you roll it, and there's a camera above it, and 5 of the sides have a skull in it, and one of the sides has a fire on it, or the Survivor logo on it. Roll the dice and have everyone see. That is interesting. That is television. That's show business, baby. This twist, this edition, whatever you want to call it, has been such a flop for the 7 or 8 seasons it's been on, and the fact that everyone wanted to give it away was like that shows them how stupid it was, and I hope it never comes back.
Yeah. Well, it's just like it made no difference. I mean, it was actually really smart of them to all say like that's what we want. Yeah. They all got rice, even though it was funny how Sue? Someone was like, I immediately regret. Oh, it was Genevieve. Genevieve. Regret getting this rice because now I'm thinking like this is gonna be my last meal on the island. Blah blah blah. But I was like, no, this like. Maybe that's the only reason they should keep Shot in the Dark, because it's giving them something to say they're giving up, when truly it's like when someone like if you got robbed and they stole like a purse that you thought was ugly anyway, and you're like, oh no, don't.
Yeah, it's a really, that it didn't mean anything to anyone because nobody really fought for it.
Yeah.
Sam was the only person who was like, I kind of feel like I'm at the bottom and I might need it.
I'm Sam pilled.
Oh, really? Are you gonna go see him in like Pirates of Penzance or whatever?
What?
Theater?
Wait,
he does musicals.
Oh wow! I didn't catch that.
I think he might have did it like in like high school or whatever. But
so did I. Love it. Pirates. He did
Three of
Pirates or
us can
Princess.
go see Wicked this weekend.
Exactly. No, I don't know. He's growing on me a little bit. I'm like, who's this cutie? Every time he's on the screen.
How do
I hope
you
his
feel?
engagement works out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's been very helpful that he and Sierra have been separated.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing for him is if he goes next week and it's like, wait, you and Sierra were like juror like
Having
one
a
and
good
juror
time.
3.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah,
sitting on the
yeah,
jury
yeah.
for 3 weeks.
Yes.
But if he makes it to final 3, he's like, I barely saw Sierra. You know, well,
We were never that close, babe. We were never that
Sierra
close.
missed. They call it starry now. What was I talking about? Oh, who cares?
We were just talking about like the rice shot in the dark.
Oh, Sam. Okay. Saul, big crush, burped his way out of being on the crush list.
It's over.
How do you feel about Sam being like, strawberries, never had them?
Yeah.
I don't, you know, like he's like a bit of like, he kind of has this like, I'm a 6-year-old picky eater, like subplot going on.
That doesn't, I mean, when someone doesn't want to eat something, it doesn't bother, unless it's like, it's not like we're going to a strawberry restaurant. Like I really want to go to a strawberry restaurant and I can't because my partner is a freak who doesn't eat strawberries. That's better because it's like, so if he doesn't eat strawberries, then it's like, you're going to the diner on a Sunday morning. He gets the short set of pancakes. It comes with a little dollop of strawberries on top. He doesn't want them. That means I get to eat them. Yeah. So really I'm coming out in the black. So I'm okay with that.
That's how all people hang out with me get an extra pickle with their meal. I don't want a pickle.
I want the pickle. I'll take the pickle.
I don't want the pickle.
Oh my God, I love the pickle.
You know what? I will say though, he has been very open-minded. It's not like, oh, a kiwi, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I will try it. I'm starving on the desert. I'm gonna turn my cheek.
Yeah, that is weird. He's not that hungry. He's like loving his whatever sandwich and crackers that they gave him. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about Survivor this week.
So Rachel Brady All-Star, Caroline Brady All-Star. Caroline might be like the truest Brady All-Star of all time. Jen is like, she's just like such a big target now. At the same time, she just survived one vote. Like she I feel like whether it's Big Brother or it's Survivor, you can be public enemy number 1, but honestly, all you have to do is really get through like one cycle, like one voting cycle, and people kind of forget about that, especially with Kyle continuously winning all of these. I was kind of going to be a little bit upset at Genevieve actually, because last week was the one week that Kyle had not won immunity, and it's like, wait, so there's an easy group target, the one guy who keeps winning all the immunities, and the one week he doesn't do it, you're going to flip the vote against whoever the fuck was Saul, which makes you in turn look like a much stronger and deadlier player, which might help you win more, but it's going to, this early in the midpoint of the game, people are just going to want to be coming after you. So if Genevieve went home, which she almost did, it was a 7-2 final vote, but if she had gone home, all because she really wanted to get out Saul and made herself look like such a big target when you had that one week that Andy was available. Not Andy, sorry, I keep calling him Andy. Kyle was available to be voted out. I would have thought that was a pretty bad move for Genevieve in the end. But she survived this week, and like, who knows? Like, Kyle absolutely will be the biggest target any week he doesn't win immunity. And
he's on Sue's shit list. So
yeah,
writing's on the wall.
Sue's gonna go far in this game. Sue might be. I do think Sue is like, and Sue has an idol too, which no one mentions, because she has the red paint on your hands idol still.
Yeah.
There are two.
Remember that? I didn't until you just said that.
Yeah, I know. Just for reference, resetting of the people left, Sue and Rachel both have idols at the moment. So they have a bit of power in this game as long as they use it.
And in case everyone forgot, Rachel, Freckleface.
Freckles. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jeff Probst's mom.
What?
That was at the end of the episode. It said like.
It did? I didn't watch to the very end.
You never do. Usually right before the vote, you're like,
well, this vote, that was the one last thing I was going to. That was the one thing I was going to say. I was gonna say is that like I did think this tribal council was a snooze compared to last week's.
Last
I
week,
thought
yeah,
it was a
you
real
didn't like
snooze.
last week.
I
What are
didn't.
you
I
talking
didn't like
about?
last week, but this week I really didn't like. But wait, what was his mom's name?
There was at the end of the episode, there was a little title card and it said like "Rest in peace, Barb." Like, see you on the next adventure, and it was Barbara Probst, Jeff's mom, who passed away this week. So, yeah.
R.I.P. for sure.
Yeah.
Probst also did like a very. I had it written down, but I don't know what my. It was like he. Oh. Here's what I wrote. He was talking about how they all gave up the shot in the dark, and he was like talking to camera as a way to like get you to reply to me. And I wrote, "Shot in the dark fucking sucks. That's why, Jeff." I don't know what that was really in reference to, but I think he was like, "Would you give up your shot in the dark to be on Survivor and find out?" Yeah,
he did that. It was like, wow, I can't believe it. An amazing historic moment on Survivor. Yeah, historic because you guys came up with the biggest flop mechanic ever, and you guys refuse to admit it. Like,
yeah, they're digging their heels in.
Big Brother, AI Arena. You can call it whatever you want next year. You call it the Rose Petal
the
Parade.
Glorbo.
The
Glorbo Parade.
The Glorbo and Baby Yoda, whatever. Yeah, Disney bought CBS.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. But there was an interview with Alison Grodner or some sort of Big Brother producer last week, and they're like, yeah, we're bringing that shit back because it made the show better. It made the show more interesting. It was the rare twist.
We all liked it.
There was even like a subtweet in the her thing where she's like, yeah, usually the Big Brother fan base kind of vociferously does not like anything new. But they actually liked this one. It was like kind of quiet. So that shit's coming back. Guys, Survivor, Probst, take the hint. It's done.
It's done.
Survivor 47 cast
DUN.
killed Shot in the Dark. They said shot in the who?
Yeah. Who in the what? Yeah, get rid of it. It's over.
I don't know her.
Okay, and we're not holding space for a Shot in the Dark.
No. What are we holding space for in the second half of this episode?
We are holding, because we're holding a whole like half an hour. Well, I don't know if this is going to take up.
We got complaints last week that the episode was only like 48 minutes.
But it was it was such a good 48 minutes.
It was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, you have to really you have to appreciate. Brett and I come from the world of improv where you have to know when to call it. You have to know when the scene is over and it's lights, and you go and scene. So we are very keenly aware of those things. Well, I did want to ask. Well, I have a couple things, I guess, to discuss. First, I'm going to bring up. Did you watch the Mike Tyson fight?
No, I didn't watch
Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I tried. I just wanted to, sometimes I have to do a mea culpa. I guess I was wrong, and Jake Paul won. I really thought Mike Tyson was going to do it. I said last time, every man in my life was like, Danielle, an old man can't win. And I really thought that an old man could because he was the best boxer of all time. Yeah, I was. But also he was the best boxer of all time.
He's not even the best boxer of all time.
Who is? Floyd Mayweather?
Muhammad Ali.
But he's dead.
Yeah, well,
you can't fight him.
All day long, people were like, Brett, are you watching this fight? I think Mike Tyson's going to win. And I know nothing about boxing. I really don't. It's just not something like have I watched boxing? Sure, absolutely. But I don't watch it. I don't know anybody in it. The fact that the most famous boxer in the world is like a YouTube guy, who isn't like really a boxer, like doesn't box. Like, I don't think he like boxes the actual like heavyweight champion or whatever weight class he's in. Anybody who knows anything about boxing is like a well-trained 30-year-old, like who knows what they're doing. And he is an actual boxer now. I don't want to say that he's just like a stunt boxer. It's a little bit of a stunt, but I don't want to say that Jake Paul is like just a guy who's
can lift,
punches on YouTube or whatever. He can lift,
yeah.
Every single person is like, yes, 60-year-olds can't do this thing. So.
I just thought I don't know. I have a soft spot, I guess.
I'm so sorry. I know we all like an underdog. Like it would have been a great underdog story.
Wow.
But it wasn't even like Rocky, where it's like Rocky loses in Rocky 1, but it's like but the real winner was love. The real winner was the city of Philadelphia.
I mean, not to go down that tangent, but have you seen the movie Rocky?
Yes, I have.
It's so good. It's so good. But I didn't realize it was like such a sweet love story about how she's like a
Yes.
fucking loser. I loved that. She's a
Yeah.
loser who lives with her weird brother. And like he gets so mad at her when she's just trying to make Thanksgiving dinner. She's just trying to make a turkey dinner and he gets all
Rocky
mad
is
at
a
her.
love story about two losers who fall in love together.
I loved that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought she was just like some babe. I mean, she is a babe in real life, but like, you know, in the movie. I just thought that was really
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Have you seen Creed?
Of
The
course.
first
Wait,
one?
no, I
That
haven't.
one's good. The one with
Wait, yes, I
Michael
saw
B.
the first
Jordan.
one.
Yeah.
The very
The
first
first
one.
one's good. The
Yeah.
second and third one are okay, whatever. But
No, I saw Creed. Yeah, he's great. He's so good. And I liked the flip of the story. How it was like, well, he's kind of a nepo baby, really.
he is, but he was raised in the streets.
Mm-hmm. Um. Okay, so I have to discuss this movie I saw, which is called Virtuosity. Have you ever heard it? Heard of it?
Virtuosity. I've heard of
Virtuosity.
it. I have not seen it.
Can't you just picture the cover art at Blockbuster for the film Virtuosity,
I
starring
cannot actually.
Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe?
I'm aware of the film. I'm
Are
aware of
you really?
seeing. I have not. I can't think of the VHS art. I'm aware of the film from seeing it like on like a digital menu, like if I'm
Okay.
like watching satellite TV or like YouTube TV, like seeing it on HBO. But I don't know what the VHS art.
Well, I'm just
I'm
like
looking at
shocked that this movie isn't a bigger, like, whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons, like a movie we look back on that at all, at all. Like, I don't think there's any discourse about this movie whatsoever. This movie was made
No.
in 1995. It takes place in 1999. It's about essentially like, essentially Russell Crowe is ChatGPT who comes to life. But he's ChatGPT of like 200 of the most disgusting serial killers all put together in one man. And that man is Russell
Oh
Crowe. And
wow.
this is Russell Crowe's like first big American movie. So it's like he gives this performance that's just like you can tell he was like, oh, this is my shot to make it big. I'm not going to disappoint. I'm going to get
Mm-hmm.
crazy with it because he's crazy. He does like a backflip at one point, and so does Denzel Washington. Just FYI, maybe not him, maybe it's not double, but yeah. Also, so it's young Russell Crowe, it's young Denzel. They both look like they're like 26 in this movie.
Yeah.
Denzel plays a cop who I don't know why he gets jailed, but he's in prison. But they use him for training, like the VR training. He's like the cop in all of the virtual reality like situations with potential serial killers. But then what happened, like the inciting incident in the movie is like the fucking scientists, villains, nerds, they like are trying to also put together like a gorgeous babe AI. Her name is Sheila. And so like they have this gorgeous babe AI and they're like, what if we made the gorgeous babe AI like a real person, not just on the screen? So they're trying to do that. But instead, they accidentally take like Russell Crowe's little microchip and put that into the whatever potion that makes them real. So instead of gorgeous babe Sheila, Russell Crowe comes to life and then starts inciting terror on the city of Los Angeles. And they have to take Denzel Washington out of jail because Denzel Washington is the only guy who can hunt him down and take care of this business. So it's honestly a very fun watch.
I gotta watch this movie.
It's very fun.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia for it. Lots of people in this movie. William Forsythe,
William Fichtner. Fichtner? How do you say
a
it?
young Kaylee Cuoco?
Yes. She plays like Kelly, what's her name's daughter. It's a real weird part. Because it's like also, the villain, Russell Crowe, like his whole thing is like, I'm a villain, but especially a villain to like hot women and their daughters. Yes. It's like that type of villain. But so, I loved that. But there is a part, and so this movie, remember, 1995, Jurassic Park.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
Can I tell you release date?
Yeah.
For this film?
Yes.
August 4th, 1995.
A great day.
Came out on your birthday.
I was a mere 7 years old. But like, there's a part in this movie. Jurassic Park came out 2 years later, right? 97, I'm pretty sure.
No, it came out in 93. I have horrible news for you. Jurassic Park came out in 1993 and still looks better than most movies that come out now.
Wow,
Danielle is
this just
shocked. You
totally
gotta watch
this
the
this
movie.
totally ruined what I was just gonna say. Because there's a part there's a part.
But I'm gonna make the point anyways. Make the
Well,
point
I had
anyways.
this whole thing ready. There's a part where because they put the microchip of Russell Crowe's like, I don't know, algorithm onto a computer, and Russell Crowe just goes, you don't have the password. And I was like, oh my gosh, Jurassic Park stole this from Russell Crowe.
No. Russell Crowe stole it from Dennis Nedry.
Wow. Okay, that sucks. Okay, well, I was wrong. Still, listen, this is such a weird movie. I just think it's like you got to see it because how can there be a movie starring two such incredible actors? Incredible. Like we're not talking about just some schmoes. It's Denzel and Russell
We're
fucking
not
Crowe.
talking about Giovanni Ribisi here.
Yeah, exactly. These
We're talking
guys
about Denzel Washington.
at the height of their hotness, the height of their hotness, at the height, like they're so young, they're just like brimming with talent in this movie that isn't interesting. Honestly, it's a very interesting idea. And it's just been completely forgotten, except for me. So I just think everyone should go see it.
Did you watch it because you're like Russell Crowe, star of Gladiator? Denzel Washington, co-star of Gladiator 2. Were you like trying to combine and find films that starred people so Gladiator in the Gladiator universe? Or
I just saw
what
some
brought you to
random
this?
tweet with like a still from it. I saw a random tweet and I was like, wait. And that's probably what got my attention. The
I have
fact
a
that both
question.
of them were in it. Yes.
You have Twitter still?
I still do check it, but I do find that my thumb is going to Blue Sky
Okay.
first.
I go on Blue Sky. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
I only follow like 20 people or whatever. But by the way, if you follow us on Twitter at HeyJulieBB,
It's
you
deleted.
don't because I deleted it. Follow us.
I
on
did
Blue
say
Sky
this to Brett,
at
and I'll
HeyJulieBB.
reiterate. I am trying to lessen my Twitter use, but I will say it is really hard to not be able to send Brett tweets constantly because there's a lot of good stuff out there still.
I have 3 friends in my life who I have a very, very active Twitter DM relationship with.
No more.
Because we just send each other stupid tweets all day. You were one of them.
Yeah, it's over.
It's fine. It's fine. I haven't been on Twitter for like a bit over a week now, and my life is completely fine. I thought it was going to be actually a much harder.
No, it's not hard.
Adjustment, but actually it wasn't.
It
And
won't
it's not
be
like
hard.
I'm spending that time going on Blue Sky either. Like I go on it and I'm like,
No.
okay, well it's the same 14 people being like, hey, did you see this football game? And I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I did. I don't care.
You're developing as a human being.
I'm redeveloping.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like the end of The Wiz when all the people who live in the evil the Wiz is the original Wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
Original Wicked. The end. Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day? All the little slaves in the Bad Witches quarters,
Yeah.
castle, whatever.
Yeah.
They pull off
The
their
monkeys.
little trash bags. They all like live in trash. They pull it in there. See,
Yeah.
that's me. I'm relearning how to live.
You are.
Can you feel a brand new day?
You can feel it. Did you watch anything this week?
No.
You didn't?
I've been getting back into Great British Baking Show, but I'm still a season behind the current season that's airing on Netflix.
Well, I can bring up something that I'm sure you've seen, and maybe we've even discussed it before.
Okay.
It's a film called The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen.
My favorite legal drama.
Yeah, exactly. And like courtroom, like divorce drama.
The legal drama, The Santa Claus.
I was watching this movie this week, and I was thinking to myself, Tim Allen, pretty good actor. actually,
He was having a moment.
Yeah.
And when I say moment, that moment was like 6 years. The moment was like 10 years.
And it was
Was he in the Santa Claus 3?
Yes,
Jack
he was in
Frost?
all of them. But it was like Home Improvement, Toy Story, the Santa Claus movies, probably had like a book and a stand-up tour. Like he was truly cooking.
Yeah.
It was the era of Tim Allen. But
Budget 22 mil, box office 190 mil. That's ROI for you, Holmes.
Right there. It is like there is a quality. It is, I hate to say it. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Keep going.
He has an everyman quality
Yeah.
that just like I don't know. As I'm older, I'm like, yeah, this could be my neighbor, this guy, but
He
like
was Tim
funnier.
the Tool Man. That's the whole freaking scene of the goddamn show. He's your
He's like
neighbor
your
and he
neighbor,
has
but he's funnier.
tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But he also has like a surprising death and like is really good with the kid in the Santa Claus.
yeah.
I just thought, you know what, this guy's pretty good.
I mean, I don't think he's a good as a person. I
No,
was like, oh man, they must have not been using him anymore. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, November 16th, 2022, The Santa Clauses, an American Christmas fantasy comedy television series on Disney Plus starring Tim Allen.
yeah,
They're still making, I mean, I guess they've only made one season. Oh, they made 2 seasons of it.
they didn't
I
want to
guess
let this go.
There is no new season. I am so sorry to report. There is no new season of the Santa Clauses. They made 2 seasons of Santa Claus, of more Santa Claus. Wow.
They will keep, of course, they're going to keep batting at that bag of money until that pinata, until nothing comes out anymore. It sounds like nothing's coming out anymore.
Yeah.
But I just, I wanted to give him his props. There's a reason he was like Mr. Money for Disney for a long time. Good for him.
Yeah, and then
it's a good movie.
Also, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it at all?
No, I haven't seen it in a long time. No, I haven't seen it in a long time. Sorry.
The other thing
I haven't seen it like basically since it came out.
I'm sure
there were a lot of movies in the 90s that were like, my dad has turned into some sort of magical creature.
Yeah,
there's
Magic
Jack
Dad.
Frost.
There's
Magic
Liar,
Dad,
Liar.
but he's like also like, but I'm also losing him. Jack Frost with Michael Keaton, the dad dies and is like reanimated as a snowman.
Yeah,
but like you can't have the dad back, right?
No, you'll never have him back because it would be like Pet
Cemetery. You only have him like as like a snowman. And doesn't that happen in the Santa Claus? Like he has to go like
he becomes Santa
dad,
Claus.
But he's like I am Santa Claus now, and I'm like, I love you. I'm no longer your father, but like. I'll be there, but I can't be.
No, they use it as a means to like get them closer together because it's like at first he's not a deadbeat dad, but he's like a very absentee father, where it's like it shows that he doesn't know how to like cook a fucking turkey to make dinner on Christmas.
Who knows how to cook a turkey? I do remember that in the beginning of the Santa Claus. They go to like a Denny's or something.
They have to go to Denny's and it's like filled, like it's filled with.
That's what my family does still.
Other divorced dads. And so it's like a pretty funny scene of just like him and all these other divorced dads who just didn't know what they were doing. Wait, one other thing about the Santa Claus.
Okay.
We have to have discussed this before. And I know all my other girlies listening, all my other millennial girlies listening know that this was also the awakening of our David Krumholtz crush because David Krumholtz plays Bernard the Elf. And it's just like, he's so good. I mean, he's a teen in this movie probably, or maybe he's 20 something, but he's young. But it's just like, we all looked at this elf and thought, now that's a guy who knows what he's doing.
I do remember when he was in it. He was Judge Reinhold in this one.
Judge is great. He's great in this. He plays like the yuppie, like, and this is like, and like Tim Allen doesn't believe in like therapy. He plays like a psychiatrist.
I bet you Tim Allen still doesn't believe in therapy.
Yeah, probably. Much like you don't believe in Santa Claus, you don't believe in therapy. You know, some people don't believe in things.
Two things that are equal.
Yeah. I think that's it. Well, that's kind of like what I had.
We had one question. Tullinator in the Discord. Follow our Discord. Join the Discord server. It's fun. Have either of you ever been to a 4DX movie? Your Twisters discussion reminded me that that was a thing that exists now. I think that thing has existed for a long time, by the way.
I've heard of it.
I have been to a 4DX theater, but I did not. I bought standard seats. I saw the film Wreck-It Ralph. The Disney, I don't know if it was a Pixar film, but the Disney animated film with John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman. I saw it in a 4DX theater, and what are you doing? Just doing microphone business?
I'll tell you after your review.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I saw that film, but I was like, it's like, okay, well, $15 for the regular seats, $23 for the seats that move. And I was like, I don't want that. But the seats we bought, it was like the row behind the 4DX seats. So for the entire movie, I'm sitting behind seats that are like those seats are like on an amusement park ride, and I'm just the person sitting behind those seats. So I'm just like watching the seats in front of me, like rumbling and shifting from side to side. No, I was distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna be, and you are
And
a
I don't know if I would.
stickler.
Yeah. Oh, for pure silence in the
Pure
theatrical
cinematic experience. What would you have done if while we were seeing A Real Pain, I said, sorry, just let me send a couple texts real quick?
Oh, I would have fucking given you the glare of death. I would have given you the glare of death. Oh
sorry, I just gotta take a quick call.
What if we had seen A Real Pain in 4DX?
Then I would have finally experienced Jesse Eisenberg's hug, and it would have been incredible. That's what I needed.
That hug would have been a huge rumble.
Oh, it would have just engulfed me. Yeah, why don't they make chairs that hug? Why don't they do that? Instead of all this other rock'em sock'em robot shit. Why don't they make chairs that care about you?
And due to our improv comedy background, we know when to call scene, and we're going to call scene on that today. Sorry, it was only 50 minutes today. Whoever complained last week. Great podcast as always. Will we be back next week, Thanksgiving weekend, to talk more Survivor?
It's fine by me.
Oh, okay, that was me asking you what your schedule was. But
I'm not in America. Yeah,
we can discuss that offline. Great. Thank you for listening, watching. Discord link is in the description. Hey Julie BB on Blue Sky, not on Twitter. Email us, heyjulieBigBrother.
Please do.
@gmail.com. Love the emails. Happy Thanksgiving, Danielle.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Real
Brett.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy American Thanksgiving. We're thankful for all of you.
I'll talk to you later. Bye, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.